Have you ever had one of those quiet moments where you finally sit down, you have time to think, and you wonder, I thought I'd be further along than this. It's not that you were careless. It's not that you were lazy. It's just that life hadn't. You raised a family, or you're raising a family. You helped a loved one, and it took longer than you thought. Maybe you lost a loved one. You've lost your job, gone through downsizing, or you're thinking about retiring. All of this happened. You navigated emergencies. You navigated helping a neighbor or a friend at church. You worked hard through all of these changes, all of these transitions, all of these emergencies, things that came up in life. And during that time, you let your future, your financial future, your planning, your savings for your future go by the wayside. Not permanently, but they just took a sidestep or standing on the side waiting. And all the time, there's this lingering voice. It's not enough. You haven't done enough. But you don't have enough any more gasoline left in you to do everything. It's time to recharge and take care of you and get rid of that voice that says it's not enough. This episode is for the people who've held everything together, that have helped everybody, including yourself, get through the different challenges in your life. And now you're quietly wondering, am I behind? Am I financially behind, preparing for my future? Am I behind because I helped others? And how am I going to get caught up? Sometimes the problem isn't the numbers. It's actually something that's ingrained in your brain. You're going, it's not enough. It's not enough. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Life doesn't always go as planned, does it? Maybe you're facing a job loss, navigating a divorce, caring for a loved one, or grieving the loss of someone close to you. These moments can feel overwhelming, leaving you wondering, what now? Welcome to Thriving Through Transitions. In this broadcast series, you'll find hope, guidance, and practical advice to help you move forward one step at a time. Each week, Vicki Joern, a compassionate financial advocate, brings you thoughtful insights and actionable strategies to tackle life's challenges head on. From managing financial hurdles to finding balance and building resilience, she's here to help you survive and thrive. So, whether you're amidst a major change or preparing for what's ahead, join us each week to learn from someone who understands and who truly cares. Don't forget to subscribe and follow so you're always ready for whatever life brings your way. Be financially prepared for today and the uncertainties of tomorrow.
Thanks for joining Thriving Through Transitions. I'm Vicki Joern, a financial advocate. And today is episode 1 in the series, Money, Dysmorphia, and the Shame of Falling Behind. And today's topic is, why do I feel broke when I'm really not? When you've been in survival mode and helping others with whether it's a loved one, you've lost someone, you're grieving, you've lost a job, or you've gone through a transition of job, or you've gone through a divorce, or you're thinking about retiring. When you have time to go, or just something happens in life that takes your trajectory down an incline, you finally get to a point where sometimes you can just sit down and have a moment to yourself and wonder, am I on track? Is this where I thought I'd be? Could be that you're thinking about your financial and your financial life and you're planning for your future. Or it could be just a lot of different things running through your head. But we all, I imagine, have gone through that. And I want to address that. You might be looking at your bank account and going, oh my God, it's not where I thought it should be. You might glance at your financial statements or your 401k, 403b, 457 and go, what happened? It's not where I thought it would be either, or they would be. You try to budget for the first time in a long time. You used to budget all the time, but you got behind. Is that bad? No, but you just got behind and you're going, oh my gosh, now I've got to catch up. What do I do? And suddenly it hits you like a wave. I'm so far behind. Does that sound familiar? So let's stop right there, because what you're feeling should not be failure. Think about all the things you've been doing and taking care of while working or trying to take care of your family. It might be something far more common. It might be something fixable. Have you ever heard of the word money dysmorphia? Be sure to like or subscribe or tell a friend about this episode. What is money dysmorphia? It's the disconnect between how your finances actually are and where you actually think they should be. There's a gap in your mind. It's when you feel broke, but you're not necessarily broke. It's when you make progress, but you don't think you did. You don't think of it that way at all. It's an emotional gap between the truth and what's actually going on. I call it a delta in your emotions and your thinking. You might have savings but feel insecure. You might be debt-free but think, oh my gosh, I still owe so much money. I'm so far behind. Let me tell you a quick story. My mother, who moved, and I bring my mother into some of these conversations a lot. When she and my dad moved in the 2016, she always liked to have at least, let's say, 10 to 12,000 in her savings account. And she loved to get checks for dividend checks all the time in the mail. And when she moved here, we started talking about this. I said, Mom, you're not making any interest on that money. You're making very little, and those checks could get lost in the mail. Why don't we have them sent directly to your investment individual account? And also, you don't need as much money in your checking account. It could be in one of in your other investment accounts. It's very accessible. It was just, she thought not having 10 to 12,000 that she was broke, that she didn't have hardly anything. Over time, we worked on that, and she's doing a lot better. She understands that she was not broke. She's not broke. Sometimes we have to remind her and show her everything. But this might be something you're feeling, or maybe your parents feel and you've dealt with. It's called money dysmorphia. This can happen after a major life change. When something's happened to you, you've dealt with. Because when life changes, it shifts. And your personality, your focus, your future shifts also. You're not quite sure what to think and where you're going. And sometimes we mistake financial change for personal failure. It's not good. I hope you're not going through that. Now, if you've been a caregiver, and I mean someone who's taking care of family while you work and take care of your own family, this episode is for you, but not just for you only. It's for anyone going through a transition, because you have gone through a lot, and you've got to figure out how to deal with money and not think that you're behind. But if you are behind, work on it and not have this guilt that you're carrying on your shoulders. I want to give you some examples. A man who's 50, who's just lost his job after 20 years, might be going through money dysmorphia. A woman rebuilding after a divorce. A single young person who's dealt with health issues. A retiree who's saying, do I have enough money to retire on, to live on for the rest of my life so that I don't outlive my money and I could do the things that I want to do? The working professionals doing everything right, but still thinking they maybe don't have it all right. Money dysmorphia does not discriminate. It can hit and sound off for everyone, any age, any person. It whispers the same lie to all of us. You should be further along than you are now. Have you heard that before? So where does that lie come from? I want to talk to you about 3 areas. The first one is comparison. In comparison, you might be watching television. Remember all these ads that show these beautiful women and men that are just shaped so great and they look so great, but in real life, they're probably having to stay on a diet, and they'd had a lot of makeup put on them for that. Or it could be on Facebook. It could be in a lot of things. And out in social media, it shows that people should look a certain way. Is that normal? Is that right? No. No. You might have a neighbor who goes on vacations all the time. You're comparing yourself to them. But you don't know what they're giving up for that vacation, or maybe someone funded it for them. An example is I have a daughter who used to do a lot of comparison on Facebook about where her friends were out of college versus her. And this was several years ago. And I saw that it was eating away at her. And I finally said, you need to get off of Facebook. This is not good for you. It's bothering you. It's making you compare yourself. And what you don't know is that people only usually show what the good things are about themselves. They don't show how they got there and what's going on behind the scenes. And she did, and she's doing a lot better. So this is just an example in an area that might be something that you could think about. The second area is cultural pressures. How many of you, when you hit your 20s, think, oh, I should be here. I should have a job. I should be making X. I should be living by myself. When I reach age 30, I should possibly be married. Maybe not, but I should be thinking about a home. I should be traveling. When I reach 40, when I reach 50, you have all these expectations of where you should be. And that could be because of what you've heard when you were growing, or culture, or your cultures. But is it a way of life for everybody? No. But if it's ingrained in your head and it's there, it's something that maybe needs to be worked on because it might be putting you behind a little bit. And number 3, the survival aftermath. You've been helping others. You've been working, trying to take care of your family. You've been helping others. Maybe families ask you for a handout or loan. You've been helping your church. You've been doing various things. And that's great. But you got behind a little bit. And now you're going, oh my gosh, I should have been further along. What did I do? And you're really taking it very, very personal. But what you forgot is that you were such a blessing to someone. Now you've got to adapt for your future. Money dysmorphia shows up in small incremental ways. You might be getting your checking account statement or go out online and you're going, I don't really know if I want to look at this. So you might put it off. You don't want to look at the checks. You don't want to look at your statement. You're going, oh my God, am I going to get another bill? You might say things like, I have $20,000 only in my savings account. And saying that's not enough. But in actuality, it is, you have quite a bit in your savings because you have more money in your investments accounts that you can get to also. You might feel guilty for spending on essentials. And then after you've bought something, you go, oh, I shouldn't have bought that. I shouldn't have bought that. What I do a lot, and some of my girlfriends and friends do, is that if I see something I might want to buy, and this is a want, not a need, I go, is this really something I really have to have? And I will walk away from it, and this has taken time to do, and give it 24 to 48 hours. If I still might think, oh, I want it, I go back and look at it. A lot of times I don't even like it anymore, or it's not there. Sometimes I do buy it. But give yourself grace. Give yourself time to think about it, unless it's an absolute need. I've been cleaning out my closet and realized that there's some things that are several years old that I thought I absolutely had to have, and there's still a tag on it. Shouldn't have done that, and I feel guilty about that, but you know what? I have to move forward. I did it, and I'm working on it. We all have to figure that out for ourselves. Maybe you've avoided looking at your financial statement. For those of you that haven't, you have one. You haven't looked at it for a while. This is a time to sit down and start moving forward and look at it. One step at a time. And for those of you that haven't even started your plan for the future, it's not too late. Take that step. You'll feel so much better. And don't say, oh, I should have done it, and keep putting it off. It just makes it worse. It's not about the dollar and cents. It's emotional. It's internal. And most importantly, it's not permanent. This feelings that you have about you're not good enough, everything's not good enough. It's not permanent. You've got to work on it. And that's what we're trying to talk about so that you can move forward. A lot of times, those of you that feel guilty, you're tired. You're just so worn out. You made sacrifices. You showed up for everyone else, including yourself at home, but not your finances and your future. So now it's time for you. So instead of saying, why am I so far behind? I want to flip that thought and make it more positive. so that you can move forward. So here's some things I want you to think about and say to yourself, what have I survived? What have I carried? What progress have I made that might not show up on a balance sheet, but I know I made progress? These are all good things. Instead of being negative, let's think about the positive so that you can remember these things and move forward. So I want to talk to you about a couple of actionable resets. One is I want you to start rebuilding. It could be slowly, gently on yourself, and without shame. Pause the comparison. If you start to find yourself comparing with someone else, pause it. Maybe you need to step away, turn that TV off, turn that Facebook off, or whatever is causing that. Just step away from it and try to think of something else. But pause that negative thought. Reset it. Don't reset the negative thought, but reset a positive movement forward. Another thing is track small wins. Maybe the mail came in this week and you started shuffling through it and you see the bank statement or your 401k statement. Or it could be online because a lot of people get those statements online. Don't put your head in the sand. Pull it up and look at it. Be brave and know that you've got to move forward, and this is just part of the process, part of moving forward. And don't go, oh my gosh, this is XYZ. Just take it, take a deep breath, and move forward with it. This is how you have to reset your thinking. Basically, you need a plan right now of where you are, how you're going to reset it and move forward. You need that plan. So I would ask you to commit to starting that plan this week if you have it. So if you've been nodding your head this whole time during this episode, you're probably not the only one because you're going, oh my, that sounds like me or sounds like somebody I know. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're rebuilding. And you're healing. Or your friend is too. The shame you're feeling is not a financial fact. It's the echo of stress, all the things that you've gone through, sacrifice, and expectations that you chose, or you think that others have chosen for you. And you are allowed to begin again. If this message spoke to you, please like or subscribe below, and feel free to give me a call at 832-698-2010, or you can go online to our website at www.beefinancialpartners.net. And I would challenge you to pick one thing this week to reset, to not go back and think negative, but to move forward. Just one thing. And share that with me. And if I can help in any way, feel free to give me a call. And don't forget that I'm Vicki Joern, and be financially prepared for today and the uncertainties of tomorrow.